Hi there, I would like to review Rurouni Kenshin Restoration, which is loosely based on the original Rurouni Kenshin series, but have been kind of remade into these two volumes. Now, to start off, it's a little bit unusual because, like, the original series is something like 28 volumes. Well, this is 2 volumes, and on top of that, the first volume is like about 100 pages or something, which is very low. Volume 2 is slightly bigger, but the difference is there. So to begin, it's literally almost the same story as the original Rurouni Kenshin manga, which is, about Kenshin, who was the Hitokiri Battlefly, which means the assassin, for the Bakumatsu War, and he was fighting and he was killing loads of people, but then after that he decided that he would no longer kill because he realised he was wrong, and what he does, he changed his blade to a sakabato, which means the blade is reversed and therefore he can't kill with the normal way of the sword. Generally for his attacks he can't, because his style is a killer style, but with a sword not meant to kill, he doesn't kill. So with his goal not to kill, he instead tries to protect people. So that's the basic outline of the main story, and this is pretty much the same thing here. He does not want to kill anyone, and the story follows a similar route, like the characters of Kaoru, Yahiko, Sanosuke Sagara, but it comes up very differently. Like, for example, Sanosuke, at first, he doesn't seem to come from the same place. Like, it looks like he's part of the Oniwa Bansu at first, but then we find out he's not. He kind of like separates because he is a fight merchant. We know that in the original manga, and here he is still a fight merchant but different. And also, for example, he doesn't have that big sword that he has at the beginning, so there are some like slight differences. And also the art is like really good because obviously there's a difference in year. I mean, Rurouni Kenshin is very old manga, not very old, but 90s-ish, whereas this manga was released recently. So yeah, there's obviously a very clear difference between the art styles and the effectiveness. Also because the author, Nobuhiro Watsuki, made Busho Renkin, which was very different from the original Rurouni Kenshin, and I have not personally read it, but I've seen some episodes, I've seen some art styles, and you can see it's different in the way it's portrayed. Like, there's more comical attributes. Like here, one of the characters he's already comic in the original series, but here, like in the way it's drawn and everything, there's more comic attributed to it, and whenever the drawings, they're like boldened out, more effective, which is quite nice. It's joyful to see. Obviously it's a bit harder for me because I've got the Viz Big for Rurouni Kenshin, so I don't know how it would look like on the size of these books. Also, one thing I really like about this quite short manga is that now in the original Rurouni Kenshin manga, at the beginning they gave a brief description about what happened in the war, and you have you have the characters from the war, like popping up all over the place, like, oh, I recognize who you are. But then when they do that, they also give like a little scene that happened during the war between Kenshin and them, which is very good because like you get to see what kind of person they were before. I mean, they did that originally, but this one I thought was a bit more detailed and gave more direct description. Also, one thing I really loved was at the beginning of volume 1, what it has is, it's called a prologue, and it's not exactly a prologue because it's not before the Bakumatsu War, but it is before the manga, which is when he's a Rurouni. And it's basically, they introduce this new character who is Western doctor, and they are treating these people who cannot pay, but because they're providing this service for free, then the government is not very happy. They're like, no, our medicine is being undermined, and it comes up with a string of events, and Rurouni Kenshin is obviously helping this Westerner, which is very good because it shows him in the transition from assassin to protector in a way. Like, before he would kill, and you think, oh wow, he's going to kill someone, but he's not going to kill someone because he's kind of in the transition in the middle. Now onto volume, well that's the basic for volume 1, but onto volume 2, it's just slightly different. Volume 2 fits more with the actual story, because the first volume, the way it begins, the way he meets Karu, the way he meets Yahiko, all that, Tsubame in the restaurant, it's all very different, and the characters are linked very differently. That also applies in volume 2, the characters are linked differently, but because the main characters aren't being introduced to each other anymore, one of the main differences is that some of the enemies are kind of mixed up in between the fights. Like, maybe one major fight, they'll have the setting for one major fight, an attribute of another major fight, and a character from another major fight, and kind of put that into one thing. So they would have the Oniwabanshu, like some of the Oniwabanshu characters, but not actually the leader of Oniwabanshu, and then they'll have that, which is Aoshi, then they'll have Saito Hajime, the police officer, but it would be portrayed differently, because you want to have Aoshi, they'll be kind of all mixed up all over the place, and it is good. I mean, don't get me wrong, I was very surprised how good this was, considering it was just 2 volumes, which, I mean, you could even argue even less. I mean, a volume and a bit. But it was very good, and it's more like, well, you know, whenever you have those manga, they start off with maybe 1 volume or 1 chapter, like they give to these Shonen Jump, for example, Shonen Jump manga, and they're like, oh, this is a new manga, try it out, and people like it. And when the author takes it and says, okay, well, I'm going to make a big series out of it, that is what it's like. It's not, it's a little bit rushed, but you only realise it's rushed because you know the original story. Without knowing the original story, it all seems to flow quite well. And one thing I really like, that they did also in the original manga, was they describe the attacks. Like, Sagara Sanosuke's Fist of 2 Layers. It describes in detail how he does it, when he's doing it, and then you see the effects of what he's doing it, like all the art, and it's just brilliant. And really, I would recommend this manga to anyone, really. If you haven't read Rurouni Kenshin, this is a good way to have an idea of it for a cheap amount of money, because it's only 2 volumes. And anyone who has read Rurouni Kenshin or watched Rurouni Kenshin, because it's all sorts of places, then I would also recommend that you read it. A, for the experience of reading it, because it is part of one of those classic manga animes that lots of people know about. And Rurouni Kenshin, I believe, is one of those classics, so do check it out, because it is joyful to read. It's quick, but it's nice, it's refreshing. You've got the new, kind of newest art, which differs from the original art. I mean, it's more, like where the other one was more maybe angular, this one is maybe more curved, but you've got more details, more this, more that, everything. So yeah, overall, out of 10, I would probably rate this maybe 8. I wouldn't give it a top, because generally I don't think short manga can really express the full ideals of a story that well within the time, so which is why I would maybe give it so much. And probably it's biased because I know the original manga, but a good 8, a strong 8, even 9, but a strong 8 towards this, because of how good it is, how enjoyable it was, and the art amazing, the way they portray the characters, the mix-ups of what they do, the way they've condensed it. Like, they would make one evil character, rather than his original goal, do something else, and it fits so well into the manga. And even the characters that aren't so important in this manga but were in the other one, they do give them brief appearances, so that anybody who's read the original manga will be like, I know who that is, you know. And yeah, so I hope that you enjoyed my review, and yeah, if you want any more requests on reviews on manga I have, then yeah, please ask ahead. If you want reviews on anime that I own or that I've just recently got. Well, that's it then. So thank you very much for watching. see you on my my January manga and anime pickups, which will be very soon. I've uploaded quite a few videos this month, so hopefully you are all satisfied. So see you then. Bye.